All right, guys. So after a long time coming, it's been like 2 years, maybe a year and a half in the making. Yep. We finally got the green bean back up and running. Getting ready to hurt some feelings here. And of course, it's not quite ready. He does still have to get it tuned. Yep. But last time you saw this thing, I'm pretty sure it was in the background of some video that we were doing. This thing was up on jack stand. That's pretty much where it stayed for a long time. But he wasn't just dilly-dallying. He was actually putting in work, get some stuff done. A lot of behind-the-scenes stuff to prepare this thing for next year and the track season next year. So why don't you just kind of tell me what you got, walk me through it real quick.
All right, what we have here is the 650 bit. I don't know what was it. 650 real horsepower recipe right here with a little extra unnecessary parts. But hey, it's all good stuff. So
yeah, that was the goal at the beginning of this. If you remember from that video, and I'll link that in the description, is that this thing needs to make 650. And of course, dyno sheets are all great and well and good, but we want to see this thing run too. But that's what we started is with that 650 dyno number.
Yep. So let's see how we want to go. I guess I just start. What's new? All right. So what's new on this is new intercooler.
What's intercooler?
New KLM intercooler.
What size is it?
It's rated for, I think it's like 800 to 1,000 horsepower. That's what this one is.
This thing is massive. Like, how big is this core?
Core. Anyway, so yeah, I got thick intercooler on there. Got a tuck radiator to allow for this. What is this? The wastegate recirculation part to go in. If I would have kept the regular stock radiator, it wouldn't. None of this would have
been sitting out like right about here.
Mm-hmm.
You got tucked right into like your cross member up here.
Yeah, you can kind of see it in there. Well, like I said, we'll take off the bumper later and just show you kind of what that is. Obviously, you got the pipe coming across, coming out the fender, and all.
So the obvious question is, why not do what's hot right now and go through the hood? Why take it through the side?
I am a little nervous on if I were to blow the motor at nighttime or something. I didn't want like all of like the coolant and stuff to get on my windshield, and I couldn't see. So instead, I send it out the fender. That's literally my reason as to why I did that. Also, if I were to leave it outside and want to have to deal with a lot of rain going down and getting into the turbo. So
I asked the same question too, because that's what you see a lot now, especially on YouTube. You see the hood exit. It looks cool, the flames and stuff coming out, but he did put some thought into it. Yep. You know, it's still street legal. We still got place for it.
Yeah.
Still got insurance, so it's street legal.
Yeah, street
legal. So I'm keeping that in mind.
It's not daily driver, but yeah, it's on. Like even starting it just then, you could smell it. It's nothing but gas. Like that's all I smell. So it's really, when you drive this, you gotta either be at the track or just ready to just come in and change and wash your clothes. But anyway, that's not why we built it. We didn't build it to smell good. We built it to go fast. So back to it. We did a KLM swirl pot. That's to go to that tuck radiator. It converts it from your standard hose down to a 16 AN line, and you can see all that stuff in there.
So again, outside of a little under hood bling, like what does this thing really do?
It's supposed to make it so that you can kind of fill your water in and it'll get all the airs out. It's supposed to bring your fill point to the highest where it can possibly be, and that's one of the reasons why I switched to that. What else we got? I got 3-inch intercooler piping with obviously your standard 50mm blow-off valve. We got a Edelbrock Victor X intake manifold with the Golden Eagle fuel rail, ID 2000cc injectors. So this will be on E85, so that's why I needed to step up to the 2200s, or the 2000. I'm sorry. 74mm eBay throttle body. Can't even tell. Look at it. Come on, look at it.
I didn't
look at
it
it.
was eBay.
Look at it. Yeah, really nice. 74mm, and it costs what was the thing, like $50-something, $56. Anyway, went with that. We got complete entire fuel lines ran PTFE AAN feed, 6 AN return. That way the E85 doesn't corrode up anything. Got the air motive. Fuel pressure regulator. I did get this thing. This is 100% unnecessary for my build, but because it's on E85, I wanted to actually have a source where I could come in and check. I would, like a lot of like class cars need this so that they can have a fuel sample to make sure they're not cheating or anything. So what I'm gonna use it for is to make sure that my E85 content is what it's supposed to be. I do have a flex fuel sensor on the car, but I just want to make sure that literally at the source, this is what it is. So that's why I put this little check valve on there.
So you just squirt a little bit of fuel.
Yeah. You prime it up and literally you just press the. I don't know if it'll do it now, but yeah, you press the button and it comes out this little nipple. So definitely not getting gas or anything right now, but that's what we got that in there for. Anyway, moving on. This is 6266.
Yeah.
I misspoke. Ball bearing 6266. It should. I mean, the turbo is rated well within the goals for the car, so it should spool up pretty quick and make the power. Did put a catch pan on there, but we can see that when I take the bumper off. I did do a brake booster elite kit, but this one is it's made by Hone out in Australia, and it came with this pretty cool brake booster brace that keeps me, when I actually like step on it to get it to stop, it won't flex or move. So yeah, I know the lighting is pretty bad, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's rippling. You can see it. It's not pure light.
Yeah,
It's fine.
we'll make it work. Right now I do have these traditional solid mounts, but I do have like the full billet ones. It just vibrates so much I don't want it in the car right now. I'll probably put that on at the track, and maybe if I'm street driving I'll take them out, like, because sorry, the vibration is insane. I really cannot stand solid mounts, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And for the most part, that's pretty much it on the car that I've changed. Obviously I used to be ram horn, but now I'm top mount, but that's pretty much, you can see that when you look at the car.
Which is beautiful, by the way. I'm
Yeah.
definitely jealous of top mount.
Yeah, you can work on everything a lot easier, obviously. But yeah, man, I got my little first ever piece of aluminum I ever welded. You know, the welds are not the best, but I did it, and hey, I'm proud of it. It is what it is. So we'll get better with that.
That's just like your coolant overflow.
Yeah. It's for this. It has a little. Oh yeah, my first welds. Sorry, y'all. I had a call in the middle of the video, but hey, it happened. Yeah, this is just to catch extra. Got a little hose coming from here, fills from the bottom, and as the water comes in or coolant or whatever, it sits in here and then it goes back in with it when the car cools off.
Like,
Yeah.
that's on the outside. I mean, obviously you still got cold packs, little stuff he did like that.
Yeah.
He's done a few videos on his channel. You can check out if you want a little more in depth. Maybe compression and actually getting off his butt and making some more videos. But
Let me say something. There's a reason why I don't shoot videos. This is literally the the most horsepower build I ever did, and it's the first time I've actually done this type of setup, and it took a lot of attention to detail. If I were to do it again, I would film it. But the problem is with me filming or whatnot, I focus more on the filming than I do actually what I'm doing. And it gets in the way. So yeah, it's excuses, it's BS, but it's the truth.
at least you said it.
Hey, no.
I was thinking you said it.
No. Y'all see the finished result. I won't BSing around though. Like it's done. It's clean. You walk up on it, it looks alright. That's all you.
No, it's cool. I mean, it's good to know your limits. I mean, something like this, of course, this is a lot of money. You see, this is precision. Injectors alone are probably $700-800.
Not to cut you off, but I got a welder so I could do this pipe.
And then
like, I had to learn some things.
invested in how to TIG weld. You taught yourself pretty much based off YouTube videos how to TIG weld.
Yeah.
So, truthfully, I probably would have done the same thing if I had invested this much money. My build, of course, is intentionally a budget build, trying to help guys see what you can do with as little money as possible. That's the objective of my build anyway at first.
Yep.
But and then I'm gonna blow that and then probably build it, and you won't see a whole lot of that. So. That'll take 2 years. We'll see how that works out. But anyway, what's on the inside of this thing? You got a stock crank, pistons, rods. What's going on with that?
Let's go from the top down. All right, we got Skunk 2 Pro 2 cams, Skunk 2 springs and retainers. We have Skunk 2 head studs, the ones for the B and K series, which I'm testing those out. That's why I got them. I want to see how they work. We do have Arius rods. Arius 81.5 millimeter pistons, Eagle rods, stock LS crank, ACL bearings, and a ported oil pump that I did here. And actually surprisingly right now it's holding like 100 psi, which is pretty high. It might be the oil that I got in there as well, but hey, it's holding good pressure. So we'll see how that does on the dyno as well. LA open deck sleeves. Yes, this is an open deck block, so it's not really gonna. We're not shooting for 1,000 horsepower. It was originally to be on the street, which is why we went to open deck for cooling and whatnot. But hey, it's well within the means of supporting the power that we want out of it. Transmission. This has a triple disc clutch. It does have a hydraulic throwout bearing, and the transmission itself is stock. So it's just a B16 transmission. That was for the slicks. I needed something closer so the slicks would get down the track. This transmission was originally on my other car. It made like what, 380 or something.
Yeah.
So I don't know what this is going to do with the power and where I'm going to be revving this to. I don't know if it's going to be off.
That's my first thing. But how long do you expect that transmission to last?
It might break the first time, honestly. My goal, honestly, is to tune it down. I want to leave like I used to leave and just make up all the power on the top end. So just like in the first couple of gears or the first gear, maybe not even on boost. Leave off a wastegate and just ease in it and then just send it. A lot of things I'm just testing out.
Of course, the inside, we already been over the inside before.
This is a 10-point. Well, it's a 10-point cage. But I still got to get these bars finished in the back.
So 10-point cage, Kirky seat. Ask him those questions. I'll leave his link to his Instagram down in the description. Do one of these numbers. All right, guys. So we actually forgot to film an outro, so we're back over at the garage talking about the green beam. We're just gonna kind of wrap up everything. We already pretty much went over what was going on with the car. He's decided to change up a few things since the last time we filmed it. You can just check out his channel for that because he's got a little bit going on here. We had a dyno day, an attempted dyno day. It didn't go as according to plan. So we're gonna have round 2 here sometime at the beginning of the new year. But he's gonna work on installing a few things.
Yep. Make sure you check your sensors before you get on the dyno. That is the one thing I did learn.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to cheap out, but I guess he found out you should not cheap out on your sensors because that was kind of ridiculous to have everything else working pretty much flawlessly and then have a cheap sensor be the cause of knocking the car tuned and having to waste all that money and time and whatnot.
Money, time, life, gas, all of it.
All of it. It was just a life lesson. He did find some opportunities. The tuner suggested a few things for him to change that would, be beneficial. So at the end of the day, it's probably for the better that we didn't go ahead and do it and then try to make these changes after the fact and then spend more money to have it retuned when we realized it wasn't the optimal setup and it wasn't doing what he was supposed to be doing. Exactly. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching the video. Of course, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, subscribe to Trey's channel. Links down in the description, and have a great day.